Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the May 28th meeting of the Albany Parking Authority. Great to see everybody here this morning. We have Jen Saponis and Bill Pettit, board members here today. Myself, Chris Burke, and ready to go. We, as board members, had a chance to review the minutes of the last board meeting.
Yes.
But I got a motion to move those minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Any concerns, corrections, adjustments? Anything? No? Okay, all in favor of adopting the minutes? Say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. And now we'll move on to our review of financials.
Thank you, sir. Moving to our April 2026 financial review, our goals and objectives: sustainability, continue to promote EV chargers and public spaces, complete the dog park, factory in Hudson. Financial stewardship, continue to implement the investment policy to build long-term financial sustainability, implement a new capital investment set-aside strategy to ensure sustainable capital planning. Innovation, build relationships with parking-centered entities and attend conferences to stay informed on emerging technologies. Community, host the 10 years of Park Albany art event. Participate in Empire State Development and Downtown Strategy workshops, meetings, and open forums.
Can I stop you right there for 1 second?
Yes, sir.
That was a great event.
Yeah.
It was a really fun
Thank you.
event.
Yeah, that was good.
I'm referring to the, well, I don't know what you call it, the 10-year down in Quackenbush
Yep.
Square. It's great. The line for ice cream was kind of long.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was great. I'm sorry.
There were small
I just
cups.
want to forget that. I
There
want
were
to make
small
sure it
cups.
was great. Please. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Innovation, build relationships with parking centered entities and attend conferences, stay informed on emerging technologies. Community, I'm sorry, let me go.
Sorry, that's my fault.
Asset management, heated sidewalks project, continue annual repairs and restoration work. Organizational culture, continue to provide professional growth opportunities. Moving into our April overview, revenues for April came in at $887,538, while our expenses were $779,751, with a net income of $107,788, with our available cash being a little over $2 million.
What was driving that? Well, budget increase.
We'll get there, sir.
Oh,
We'll get there, I promise.
Sorry, I'll settle down.
Moving on to our net income history. Revenues were higher compared to 2025 due to an increase in dailies, about 25,000, our events at 19,000, and our enforcement reimbursements at 38,000. Expenses were higher due to enforcement wages at 34 grand, utilities at 11, and our facility repair and renovations for our first payment of $105,000. I just want to point out that our utilities are higher this month because we're being back billed for a national grid issue, and we're working it out with them currently. Moving on to our parking revenues. Parking revenues increased compared to last month and were above projections. Daily parking increased by $6,000. Monthly parking revenue slightly increased this month, so we continue to recover from the cancellations from McConnell and Aronowitz. We are currently seeing an increase in parking space passes, which is expected as we head into our warmer months. This increase will be reflected in the next month's presentation, about $10,000 in our May of 2026 as of 5/21. And event revenue increased by almost $20,000. I just want to point out that this is the second highest month we've had since 2019.
Great.
We're doing well.
Why was it warmer weather increase?
You know, it's been a historic, yeah, like
Because you
every
would think-
year.
Yeah,
The
you would.
other way around, bad weather on a spot.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, all right.
Moving on to our expenses. Expenses are higher in April because we began our renovation payments, $105,000 I previously mentioned. We projected to have this payment in March, but we ended up making the payment in April, so that's why you see the fluctuation. So the facility repair and renovations increased month over month by 58,000. There was an additional payroll in April, which increased salary and benefit expenses for the month. As I mentioned, we began paying our retro Green Hudson National Grid bill. We had the slight increase for the aesthetics and in our aesthetics and beautification line for the painting the night event. All this is planned, by the way. Moving on to meter revenues. Meter revenue increased in April, leading to another record-breaking month. Even though pay by phone decreased by $12,000, our meter baggings increased by $17,000, leading to a $4,000 increase from March. In April, we had 6 $12,000 days, with 4 of them falling on Wednesdays and 2 on Tuesdays. So we're still seeing that trend for our Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday high days. Our meter daily average, also just reflecting the increase, which obviously also increased our daily average. But I am excited that we had another record breaking. I mean, we've never had a $290,000 meter month, so it's pretty incredible.
It was kind of interesting. It seems so quiet in the capital for the first couple of months. And what the heck's going on? Now everybody seems to be,
Right.
this month. So even on the street, you can sense it.
Yeah.
Picked up. Strange.
Yeah.
Did we put more meters in? No. When's the last time we expanded?
Last time we expanded, it was 8 years ago.
Cool.
And it was, no, it was uptown.
Yeah.
Yep, uptown.
8 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Our monthly and other revenue, monthlies were slightly above April projections, and we expect to show a $10,000 increase next month due to past sales. According to our active pass report that Kevin will get into, we're about 40, we are 40 passes in the plus in April, 30 of them being individual, 10 residential. And like we said, this increase has historically been the case as we enter summer. For example, last April, we had 34 individual residential additions. Any questions? Daily garage and lot revenue, we were slightly below projections in April, but revenues increased from March. Some of this could be due to daily switching to monthlies. So we're starting to see some the work from home. People are starting to come back to work. We're seeing full time more so. So we think that might be the cause for some of that switching. We're so used to seeing the dailies being high since COVID, and it used to never be the case. It was always the opposite. And, we're starting to see that turnaround, which we thought was going to happen much earlier, but has not. So, and then moving into our revenue summary. Again, record-breaking month for meters at 290,000. And then our monthly and other revenue increase in April, and will increase again in May, with our event revenue at a year-to-date high, and currently at 64% of budget projections. Daily garage and lot revenue, though it fell below projections, we were still able to exceed total projections for the month by 11%. Just want to point out that the top 3 events in April were Lake Street Drive at the Palace, Stars on Ice at the MVP, and Nick Ackerman at the Palace as well. So doing great. I think we're having a slower event month for May though, aren't we, Kevin?
Yeah, a little bit. There's some, yeah, there's still a lot of stuff, there's just not big sellouts or anything like that.
Moving on to our debt service investment account activity, we transferred 45,000 into this account in early April. Moving to our short-term investment account. Sorry, Chris, you got a question?
Yeah, and your daily response, is there a certain number that you need to make sure you hit? I mean, is there a revenue number tied to maintaining lots? And I'm thinking cameras, like, along with it.
Yeah, it's not quite as large as our projections are, and they're fairly, I don't want to say that they're cheap to maintain, but they're
So
not.
that's not a concern.
It's not, no.
Just thinking about the other things that we've done.
Right.
Taking on another lot.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. Short-term investment account activity. We did not make a transfer in April, nor did we make a transfer in our long-term in April either. And then moving into our EV charging investment account, we did transfer $3,395 into this account in early March. I believe that was for the February quarterly, or that was from last year's into February there. Yeah, so that was the last quarter, and then we got our first quarter payment of $2,765 in early April.
You didn't make transfers simply because it wasn't available or it's not scheduled.
Yeah, yes, we were just waiting for some other reimbursements to catch up before we move forward with any investments. And then our capital set aside investment accounts, a new account for our capital plan, we transferred 30,000 earlier. And that's all I have for our financial review.
Very well done. Thank you. We move to monthly enforcement.
Yes, sir. All right, our monthly enforcement numbers for April, ticket revenue came in at $454,520 and some change. Compared to last year, it was $439,050. So good job, Doug and his team for those efforts. And also, there are better tickets written actually because it's about $800 or 800 tickets less than last year. Yet we still had a major increase. So I'm sure it was some collection efforts there as well, right, Doug? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Any questions about enforcement?
What keeps going up on that? You know, I know it's been an ongoing issue, Willett and Madison and that sort of that spot there, sort of between, Delaware Avenue or going out.
I haven't had a lot of complaints at all lately.
Nymo's there tearing everything up all the way across.
Yeah, but I haven't, nobody's called in or complaints or
Sequel
not in that area at all.
Really?
Not for that specific area. I mean, Sequel Fix has been busier than ever lately.
Right, I was just wondering because they're doing such a job there.
Yeah.
So densely.
It's been quiet there actually, which I'm
Haven't
quite
heard anything
surprised.
either. Yeah, yeah,
Okay. I am surprised.
yeah.
Communications.
Communications, like Chris mentioned, we did have the Paint the Night event. It was our 10 years of murals. It was successful and nice turnout. Lots of people came and we had some good vendors there. And Kevin, you want to fill everybody in on that?
Yeah, it was very successful. We had estimated about 600 to 700 people attend for the whole event. Everything went really smoothly. We got a lot of great feedback from people who had never been back to that part of Quackenbush Square about not even knowing that that was there and how lovely the area and the square looked and the art. No, it was just a very successful event. All the community involvement, gallery, the barn, Discover were very thankful on all the, also there was a representation from a lot of the performing arts venues, and they were also very thankful to be invited to be part of it.
Great. I mean, it is great space.
Yes,
But it is also kind of tucked away.
it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
We're such good partners.
Well,
Anybody have any questions about Painting the Night? Great. Winter market updates. The funding for this year was, it's a little wonky, but we're working through it. Just a reminder, last year, there was a grant that was given to the city for, I forget the name. It was a very long name for the grant, but it related to the to community events like we did for the winter market. It was a little different this year with the admin change and all that, so there was a little bit of confusion as to how to secure those funds. I did have a meeting with Romero's office. We did apply for the grant ourselves. I don't expect to get the full amount. It'll be a fraction of the cost, which is fine. Something's better than nothing. Between us and Georgette and the downtown bid, we're just securing some sponsors to take care of the rest of the funds. I think the positive outcome for this is that we're able to almost duplicate what we did last year. We're not really taking a step back in how we approached it last year. We want to at least keep that same phase that we had last year, which I think we can accomplish. We want it to be, we wanted to do it a little bigger and better this year, but you know, we just might have a little bit of constraint. That's fine.
Sorry.
Yeah. So, you know, and the other part is we do have some of the equipment and decorations left over from last year, so we get to reuse those. Georgette's working on some, getting some better canopies, you know, not instead of having to rent tents every year for $8,000 or $9,000, $10,000, you know, we could have these almost like these temporary structures that we can just collapse and, you know, store and put out when we do the event. So we'll see how it goes. I'll have a better update for you guys next month.
Talk about a significant funding gap.
I don't think it would be significant. We're cutting one day off because we found that the last day of it's 4 Saturdays. We cut the last one off because it was just not as busy as the other 3. So there's going to be quite a savings there. I feel like the whole event, we're only estimating about $30,000. So I think we should be able to make that work.
Okay.
And Kevin's really excited about it. So.
Any questions about communications?
Great.
All right, thank you. Let's move on to new business then.
Certainly. RFP and project updates. Okay, so our 2024 repairs, the only reason why they have not completed yet is because there's been light poles on back order for like a year. So we are currently in a 12-week window to receive those. So hopefully that's true and we get those soon. I'm not quite sure what the holdup is. Other than maybe we needed a specific design to try to match what we have out there. But I mean, at this point, I don't really care. You know, I'd rather just get them in.
There's disruptions across the board.
Yeah. Yeah. The 2025 repairs, they're expected to be done in a few weeks. They were put on hold due to winter. We had to have some membrane installed and, you know, it's weather dependent. So those guys are wrapping up some repointing of some brick. And we'll get the rest of that membrane down and we'll have that group out of here in a few weeks. For the 2026 repair, we had already posted the RFP for it. We just had the pre-bid meeting this week and the bids are due in June. So we will be submitting those to you guys for approval in the June's meeting.
Any major items?
No, I'm happy to report that we don't have any full depth. We haven't had any full depth repairs in 4 years. Just partial depth. That's huge for us because it just means that the membrane's actually doing its job. If we had not put that membrane up there or anywhere, we'd be having a lot more full depth repairs. So garages are still in good condition. They've maintained that those conditions for the past 5 years. We actually brought Green Hudson from fair to good condition.
Hey,
So doing well. Heated sidewalks project, we're working, our engineer is working with National Grid on the design phase. So we're hoping to get these installed before this winter. And what was our estimate for that one? Was it like 1.4, 1.5?
1.7-ish, depending.
And again, we're gonna use the rest of our bonding funds for the projects that we took out 3 years ago. We'll spend that as well as the capital funding to get that done. It's gonna be a major win for us.
Long time coming.
Yeah. Yes. Active pass report, Kevin?
So at the, as of the end of April, our active monthly passes is 2,277 passes. There's a month-over-month net increase of 40 units. We ended March with 2,237. So as of end of April, we are only down 0.09% from the end of year 2025. We ended last year with 2,279 passes. So we've actually filled the gap back up from O&A's large cancellation 2 months ago, which is spectacular at this point. Everything's been trending up for the last 2 months, other than that one loss, the major loss. So we're expecting that to slightly increase, but not as significant as April was. We had 55 actual passes activated in April, which is a very large number for activations.
Good. And do we know any information about who they are?
Yeah, the majority of it, almost all of it, was individual passes. 40 units of the 55 were individual passes, and 11 of those, additional 11 were residential. The individuals are most likely tied to businesses or employees. Yep.
Right, that's what's happening.
Yep. Again, it's a factor of interns hiring in the spring happens. The state's been aggressively hiring, and they have a much longer probationary period for work from home. So they're not, people who are being hired into like state positions are not able to work from home for, depending on agency, but 6 or more months. So we're seeing some increases from that.
Good.
Yep.
Great.
Okay.
Any questions? EV chargers update. Usage is slightly down across the board, a little over $100 per garage. It's kind of a trend we've been seeing since January, so we're just assuming that it's just overall usage is down, but we're just kind of investigating and trying to see what we can find out as to why, if it's really just less users or if there's actually a problem. I don't think there's a problem. I just think it's just less users. Not much has changed other than us implementing the idle fee. It might have something to do with it. But it seems like a large amount. I mean, even though it's a small amount that comes in for us, it's kind of on a month to month, losing anywhere between $100 to $140 per garage is a little off.
Yeah, there's also not a lot of support for renewables.
No.
The automakers are fund back because the federal government is not supporting all the rest. And
Yeah.
seeing now with, read a piece that people aren't buying new cars anymore, used cars because interest rates are so high, inflation is what it is, so everything's so unsettled. So yeah, this could be a market of all those, just less.
I agree.
It's too bad.
Yeah, we're also running into some issues with the chargers themselves. We're starting to have to repair them a little more often now, so I think it's going to be a good time for us to start dipping into our EV account that we set aside just for this. But I'd like to start replacing these units. So some are just power failures. Others are.
What does that mean?
So like something on the main board of an EV charger is they're outside, so they're getting weather and everything else, so their electronics are just failing. The problem with these are they're a lot like a parking meter in a sense. They have some of the same kind of technology in them. but I just feel that, how quickly they were pushed out, there wasn't a whole lot of, fail safes put in place yet.
It's an early generation.
Yeah, and so I think we're gonna just start, kind of, seeing what else is out there, start replacing these guys, by garage. I expect them to be around 7,000 to 9,000 per unit, depending on what we get. They could be significantly less if we wanna, really dial it down to just the puck on the wall kind of thing, but, I find that the larger units are a little more robust, so, we're gonna do some DD on that and have a plan to start replacing them. It's time.
Yeah, remember, early on, batteries couldn't handle the cold weather.
That's right.
Afraid to get them out, they were thinking about that. I'm sure they're having the same sorts of weather-related issues that are going on now.
Right. That's all I have for EV chargers. Moving on to, I'm sorry, anybody have any questions about the chargers replacements? Okay, great. The grant updates. So we just heard from ESD somewhat recently. The Department of Budget is, it's in their hands to approve the draw for the funds. So.
Quite an update, John.
Whatever. I thought it was gonna be more exciting than that, but that's where we are.
Wheels turn slowly.
Yeah, to me, that's kind of a win, so
No, it's
I'm all right with that.
Any movement is a win.
We should have a clock, one of those
Yeah.
doomsday clocks. What are we up to, 2 years now?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Yeah.
I think more than that.
Come on, all of this stuff.
Okay.
Yep,
Right there where they heated sidewalks.
right. Yeah.
Right, when we put the sidewalks in and get the money, we want to make it talk about it. All right, thank you very much. Is there any unfinished business?
Sir, I have
Before the
one.
board? I would like to go into executive session this morning. Alan,
For the medical, financial, credit, or employment history of a particular person or corporation or matters leading to the appointment, promotion, demotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, or removal of a particular person or corporation.
thank you very much. Could I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. For an executive session.
Thank you.
So we're back in the regular board meeting, and I want to note that no action was taken during an executive session. Is there any more business to come before the board? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in
Aye.
favor?
Aye.
Thank you all very, very much. It's a good meeting.